Hey guys, Christy Shelton from foreverandafter.com. Today I wanted to talk to you about the 5 most common emotional eating triggers. The first one is a big one for a lot of people, and that would be stress. So some people think that just because they're stressed out, it just gives them the desire to eat more food or eat more often. And while some of that can be true, you can comfort eat for stress. Part of it is also biological, where when you're stressed out, especially long periods of high stress, your body actually produces a chemical called cortisol. And that cortisol can trigger cravings for salty foods and sweet foods and fried foods. Basically, your comfort foods that give you some instant gratification, and they may give you a small burst of energy, and it kind of makes you feel better even though you're completely stressed out still. It kind of helps you to forget that. The second one is stuffing emotions. This happens for a variety of different emotions. It could be anger or guilt or frustration or, disappointment or regret. Any emotion really that you try to block out the feeling of that emotion by just stuffing yourself with food. Because if you're eating and focusing on the food that you're eating, you don't have to focus on whatever caused the emotion that you're feeling in the first place. Number 3 is boredom or feelings of emptiness. I am totally a boredom eater. I could sit and mindlessly munch on stuff. Like, I constantly have the desire to munch and eat, especially now that I have a desk job. And, when I worked at UPS, I was on the move all the time. I didn't have downtime to think about food. Now I sit at a desk for a living, and it seems like all I think about is food. It's really crazy. But even when I'm not hungry, I have the desire to just graze and munch. And this gets a lot of people in trouble because you eat more calories than you had planned on, or maybe that you even realize, depending on what it is that you reach for when you're trying to graze or munch. Number 4 is childhood habits. So I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, we celebrated everything with food. When I got straight A's or good grades on my report card, Grandma and Grandpa took me to dinner. When I did something good, we went to breakfast or lunch or dinner. For holidays, we had huge family meals where they were basically like smorgasbords, and we had plates that were overfilling, and our family showed love by baking and cooking. And at the holidays, we still do a lot of baking and things like that. So whatever your childhood norm was, however food was incorporated to your life as a kid, whether it be, celebrations or helping you recover from disappointment or something like that, those are things that will carry into adulthood for you. And sometimes you want that nostalgic feeling of, making that big pasta dinner and sitting around a huge table with, family, extended family, that kind of stuff. Or maybe it's the memories of baking cookies with your mom or your grandma that you're trying to relive those moments. So you tend to incorporate those habits even as an adult. Number 5 is social influences. This is a big one because with technology and the change of our culture to be like a here and now society, we often don't spend a lot of time interacting face to face with people. We do a lot on social media. We text a lot of stuff. Most people don't even pick up the phone and call anymore. That's actually kind of rare. People prefer to text and email and things like that. So nowadays, people tend to gather around food, which I think has always brought people together. But now when you're gathering around food, if you're trying to be on plan or you're trying to eat a certain way, it can be much more challenging when you're in a social setting. Not only are you probably at some restaurant that you haven't been to for a while, but you also have some pressure from the people around you that are freely eating whatever it is that they want to eat, and it makes you think like that you're being restricted, or that it almost feels like punishment sometimes. Like, I get that way when we go to certain restaurants and people are eating like half the bread basket, and I know that I shouldn't have any of the bread. It makes it really hard for me, and it makes me feel like, I can just do it this one time. And I reason with myself why it's okay to do that, even though I know that it's going to make me feel like crap. So the social influences are always there. Plus, if you have people in your life that aren't exactly on a health journey, sometimes they can, not on purpose, derail you and, encourage you to eat something else and basically they tell you, oh, it's okay, this can be your cheat meal, or it's okay, this can be a treat. We don't see each other very often. But if you have a meal like that with every person that you don't see very often, think how quickly those calories add up. Hopefully these 5 emotional triggers are something that you can use to identify possible problems or roadblocks, hurdles, whatever you want to call them in your journey. And I will catch you guys again soon. Have a great day.